Hi, I'm Mike Morrissey. Every year, a group of 30-plus medical professionals travel to San Lucas Toliman in Guatemala to perform orthopedic surgery on local children. In March of 2019, I joined the team to document their work.
Mike, thanks so much for interviewing me down here in Guatemala. My name is Matt Gerber, and I have been involved with Rotary for 22 years, since I was 16 years old. I'm originally from La Grande, a little town in Eastern Oregon. Up in the mountains, I grew up on a little farm. And since I was a little kid, my parents can recall me telling them that I wanted to travel abroad, actually travel specifically to Australia. And my parents were always super encouraging, and they said, you can go and do anything you set your mind to. Even though we didn't have very much economic means, my dad was an elementary school janitor for most of my childhood. But a neighbor down the street was a Rotarian, and he provided me the opportunity to apply and be accepted as an exchange student. And from that opportunity, being a Rotary Exchange Student, I have since then lived and worked and studied in 65 countries. So when I came back from my youth exchange, I started university, and there was a Rotary club that met at my university. And so I just started showing up to their meetings, and they didn't really know what to do with me. But there is a Rotary program called Rotaract, which is a college version of Rotary, and they helped me to start our university's first Rotaract club. You know, Rotaract actually has the same structure as a normal Rotary club. So there's club service, community service, and international service. For our international service, we did relief work in Colombia and in Nicaragua. And actually, our work in Nicaragua took on really a life of its own, and our Rotaract project actually turned into its own 501c3. I ran that Rotaract project in Nicaragua full-time. So I would come back to the States and I would have a paying job, but my first real job was running this NGO, which was an offshoot of our Rotaract program. I now work in corporate philanthropy, helping companies start and run corporate social responsibility departments. How do you engage and inspire employees that they're working towards a mission bigger than just the profitability of the company? And externally, how do you help a company connect in a meaningful way to community? It's kind of like being a professional Rotarian, to be honest. So I started in Rotaract, and then I continued to participate in Rotary through RYLA, Rotary Youth Leadership Awards, which is a program that has been around since the 1960s. It was originally started by Rotary in Australia, and it is a youth leadership camp or training. And so I started as a participant, then I was a small group leader, and then I came back for 11 years as a guest speaker before finally joining actual full-blown Rotary Club. Yeah, you know, Rotary has been around for a really long time, and Rotary programs are very, very refined in terms of what they do. Camp Enterprise is a great example. RYLA is a great example, and I've always looked for ways to bridge my Rotary experience with my day job. And so I was hired 3 years ago to help find solutions for veterans who are struggling with PTSD, addiction, and suicide. And the whole idea was, how do we help them find purpose and community and professional success through fitness? And so I took the model from RYLA, which is an all-volunteer instructor model, small group model, and this idea that you look at people not just in terms of their professional development, but their personal development. And I applied this Rotary program for young adults to veterans who are struggling with reintegration into civilian life. And everybody questioned my assumptions. They were like, wait a second, how do you know that this small group model is going to work? And why are you having a business day and a psychology day in your program for people becoming personal trainers? Like, it just doesn't, and I just kept assuring them. I said, you know what, Rotary's been doing this for 60 years. This is going to work. And it worked the first time. And just like RYLA takes graduates from its program to come back and be small group leaders, I was able to take veterans who graduated from my first class to bring them back as small group leaders and perpetuated it. And in 18 months, we graduated almost 200 veterans into new careers as personal trainers through this Rotary-inspired model based on RYLA. We had one guy, his name was Juan, and he actually came to us from an inpatient treatment program. He had been struggling with addiction for almost 5 months. And at 6 o'clock in the morning, he came to our program, went through our 3 weeks of training, just like a 3-week RYLA program. And by the time he was done, he had a job offer at Equinox. Like, our veterans ended up becoming really, really elite personal trainers. And it was based on this Rotary model of mentorship. And how do you create an arc of experience that builds on personal skills, community skills, business skills? Rotary provides a really unique parallel professional course. And so early in my career, I didn't have as many leadership opportunities as people who were more senior, and yet I needed those leadership opportunities to build the experiences so I could accelerate and move up in my career. Because I was involved with Rotary in RYLA and Rotaract, and then I joined a Rotary Club and was a Rotary Club president, the experiences that I gained there fed back into my professional life. So I credit, without exception, all of the biggest moves in my career with the fact that I have also been involved with Rotary at the same time. The opportunity for Rotary clubs is to engage and inspire young people that Rotary can be relevant in their lives. And it absolutely can. You just have to figure out what is the need that Rotary can meet for these young people that they can't address on their own. Maybe it's an opportunity for community. Maybe it's an opportunity for service. Maybe it's an opportunity to travel abroad, just like we are here in Guatemala, and to be a part of something bigger than themselves. I think that in our society, we've become increasingly isolated and individualistic because of social media. And I think that it has a profoundly negative personal and professional impact. And Rotary is the antithesis of that. Rotary is the way to connect, to be a part of a bigger mission, and to be influenced by different types of people and different ideas, which is really the only way that we grow. And Rotary does all that. Rotary is one of the best decisions a young person can make. Rotary is community, Rotary is adventure, Rotary is opportunity. Yeah, you look at it on paper and you can describe the attributes of it. They usually meet every week, it's usually over a meal, it's a group of professionals who gather their time and resources to do community service projects, but that's really the what. It's not really the why of Rotary. Even service above self, we hear it so many times that I think sometimes it loses a little bit of meaning. The why of Rotary for many people who first join is professional networking. They want to expand their sphere for the benefit of their business a lot of times. But when we survey people 6 months after they've been a part of a Rotary Club, the reason why they stay, their why is community. And I think that is all we have to do is get young people to be in proximity of Rotary long enough that they get to feel that pivot from being a professional opportunity to also a personal opportunity, because that's what's going to cause them to stay. One thing I would encourage Rotary clubs to do is not to reflect on themselves as being too old or too inaccessible to attract younger members. Younger adults are craving the opportunity for mentorship. They're craving the opportunity to learn. They don't have access to previous generations like we have previously in our society, and they are hungry for people who will speak wisdom into their lives and help them ask the right questions in life. Not give them the right answers, but to really say, like, you know what? When I was at this point in my life and I was trying to decide what was best for my family or my career, this is how I thought about it, and here's how I made that choice. And that's the sort of mentorship that more established Rotarians can offer prospective members. So a lot of people ask, like, what are some tools to really effectively recruit younger members? And one of the things that we found worked really well in our club in Minneapolis was we approached our program like you would approach a speaker list for TED Talks. And so we actually planned out 6 months in advance and made it really, really exciting, just like we were to promote TED Talks. And so we would find these speakers who were subject matter experts, and we weren't just trying to fill a calendar. We were trying to create inspiration, people who are the best at what they do, people who are going to share new ideas. And it just so happened that the people we invited were all people that we were targeting to be part of our Rotary Club, because we wanted to bring them in, we wanted to celebrate their expertise, we wanted to let them know that we see them, that we can learn from them, and all of a sudden, during the Q&A, they get to learn about us as well. And during the whole meeting, actually. They get to hear about our community service projects before the program. And it was actually one of the best ways to recruit. Look at your program as an opportunity to attract and get younger prospective members through the door. Awesome. Thanks so much for your time, guys.